Now first things first, right off the bat, this game is from the co-creators of Rick and Morty. So if you enjoyed that show, this is right up your alley. This game is an absolute acid trip. I'm talking, I wasn't sure if my wife had laced my drink before playing this. From a game tutorial for another game within a game, an awful coke-snorting older sister, aliens attacking your planet, to you Wizard of Ozing your house onto who is probably the Wicked Witch of the East. This is high on life. In other words, high on something, that's for sure. Now what's the game about, you may ask? Well, the story is just as out of this world as the guns are. We are fresh out of high school with no job and no ambition. We've got nothing going for us until, and yes, you're hearing me right, the alien cartel shows up with goals to get high off humanity. Now it's up to us and our loudmouth guns to become the best bounty hunter the cosmos has ever seen, and I guess maybe save mankind? From the moment the tutorial started, I was all in. The atmosphere just grabbed me and I was ready to jump into whatever wild ride Squanch Games has created for us. Now let's jump into my experience so far with the graphics as well as the performance. 3 words: gross, gory, and gorgeous. Bright, highly saturated colors pop out at you from every corner, grabbing the cone cells in the back of your eyeballs and screaming, "Look at me!" However, the performance on the other hand leaves plenty to be desired. At least, that was before the patch. Honestly, at times this had a hard time running at a solid 30 frames a second, let alone getting 60. This canon most definitely did affect my enjoyment of the game, as well as the gunplay and combat. However, Squanch Games released a super quick and solid patch the very next day that completely eliminated any performance issues I was having. Now I'm running around the city as well as the slums, stabbing and shooting my way through at a solid 60 frames per second, and it feels like a fever dream. Now for moving on to the gameplay, it's so freaking fun. Doomslayer on acid, with just a little Sunset Overdrive thrown in to make the platforming enjoyable. And we can't forget what makes this game stand out. What we all saw in the trailer as well as some of the game clips we've seen. The talking guns, or should I say Galleons, who are, no surprise here, a huge key player in this game. These little things trash-talking aliens as they're raining hell upon them, or Knifey speaking his mind as you're repeatedly stabbing someone is an absolute blast. And as psychotic as this may make me sound, it just brings a smile to my face. High on Life doesn't take a traditional route to leveling up either. Your powers and abilities all rely on either your weapons or your bounty suit. You can find upgrades for both that are either purchased or found throughout the world, which can lead to some really interesting combinations. Now with 4 hours of gameplay under my belt, I felt it was time I made a quick first impressions video. Dashing, slashing, and fighting your way through areas is what you'll find yourself doing in each zone, each with their own unique looks, challenges, hidden Ludlocks loot boxes, and enemy types. Exploring each zone in an attempt to find all the hidden goodies is something I'll never get tired of in games, and this doesn't let you down on that front, as you could easily miss upgrades that could prove to be really beneficial if equipped, and collecting as many pesos as possible to get the best gear from the shops is something I found myself doing early on. We have difficulty options. However, I chose to play on the hardest difficulty because, well, at the time there was no achievement list and I couldn't risk missing out on a difficulty achievement, right? Turns out there are none. However, I've had just the right amount of challenge on the hardest setting. Boss fights aren't a cakewalk, but aren't unfair either. It just takes a bit of strategizing and staying mobile. The 2 bosses I've fought in my experience so far each had their own mechanics and in turn were quite enjoyable to fight as well. Moving on to the sound, which if done poorly would have made this game a headache to play as there's lots of dialogue happening around you as you journey through the levels. Fortunately, Squanch Games does a fantastic job here as well, all of it. From dialogue, the guns, ambient sounds, and the music that plays subtly in the background. I enjoyed every bit of it, and I didn't run into a single audio issue in my time of playing. Now, speaking of dialogue, if you don't want your children hearing the language, this is most definitely not the game to play in the living room on the TV. This game is very much intended for mature audiences, and you'll realize that in the first few minutes or seconds of playing.
Hungry for some, deals? Am I right? Hey, welcome to Blordo's. I'm Blordo. You here for the food? Or the other stuff?
What do you mean, other stuff?
Nothing.
How dare you fuck with me when you don't do a job that had to do paperwork, you asshole! God, if this fight delays our mining schedule, I'll kill you twice.
Are you fucking serious right now?
This game so far has been a blast, and right after finishing this, I'm planning on jumping straight back on to continue collecting my Gatlians and taking down the alien cartel that's harassing the cosmos. And I must insist, if you have Game Pass, play it. If you don't, spend the $1 to try it for the first time and give this game a go, especially if you're a Rick and Morty fan and enjoy that kind of comedy. Now, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate the watch and have recently started a channel over on Twitch. If you'd like to watch me play all sorts of games live, chat with me, and just hang out, please follow me over there. I'm Indecisive Brian, and I'll catch you in the next one.
You ready?
Oh, it's so cold. I'm so hot. Oh, fucking boiling. Just want to turn on the AC? Oh no. Oh no. I shit. I shit myself. Oh no. I pissed myself. And the piss is mixing with the shit into a shit piss. And it's all under me, and I'm just lying in my own shit piss. Don't look, don't come near me. What the fuck you want to see that for? What's wrong with you?